guys, my name is Sabrina from Sabrina the Teenage Reader, and welcome to part 2 of the How to Senior Year series. And so this video is focused more on college applications. So I'm just going to be talking about like a basic premise of the college application system and how to prepare yourself for it. And near the end of the video, I will talk more about international college applications because I'm from Honduras, and I will tell you more tips and advice when you're an international student applying to another country. And also, remember, before I start, I just want to tell you that all of our lives are different variables, and what I say may be different from what will happen to you. Everything is based on my experience, so it may not 100% apply to you, but I hope it helps a bit. So basically, college. Yeah, college, the next step of your life. Okay, so first of all, I would like to say that college is just a business. That's the ugly truth, guys. At the end of the day, as much as they want to promote education and stuff, they're just a business because we live in this capitalist system. Mostly I'm talking about colleges in the US, by the way. You are investment. And if you don't seem like a good investment for that college, they probably won't accept you or won't give you enough aid to show and hence show that they're not like desperate for you. Basically, the college application system is just a bunch of money that you will spend for a business to judge you and say that if you're good enough, and that will define probably the rest of your life, but not really. I'm sorry, that's the ugly truth I have to tell you. Nobody tells you that. You can say I'm wrong, but that's how it was for me. But think about it, colleges won't be able to operate if they don't have any money, and they won't, and all that stuff. And the whole college application system is not fair at all. But unfortunately, they will change in a while. Getting that out of the clear, okay? And also, I would like to advise you that if you don't feel ready to go to college, don't apply, because you don't want to be miserable in a place that you don't want to be. There's always options, people, and there's always exchange programs, or you may work for like a semester, or I don't know. But think about your options, and if you think that you're ready for college, then apply to college. I know that this doesn't apply to a lot of people because I can't take that liberty because of scholarships, but if you can, do it, okay? The society puts like this ideal that you have to go to college after high school. You have to, or you're a failure. But you know what? They're wrong. And you do what suits you best, okay? So let's start with the actual factual, oh my god, that rhymed, advice. And the first thing that I will tell you is to start doing anything related to college applications during vacations before your senior year starts. You're gonna be really busy during senior year, so research about colleges before time, get to know their websites or email them. Go to campus stores if you have the opportunity to. Even though you may not are not interested in that college, you may get to know if you like a bigger college or like a small college and like the whole atmosphere. And you will get yourself in the mind into a plan to college if you want to. Go to all the open houses that you can go, because sometimes some colleges even give you discounts if you go to their open houses. Yeah. Do all your testing like SATs or the TOEFL if you're international before the school starts, because again, you don't want to be clogged with other things that you have to do, and you will stress out. You will probably not perform that well. Now that you have some colleges that you want to apply to, and I normally recommend to not apply to only one college. Apply to at least 3, 5. I applied to 9. So now to the actual applying to colleges tips. You should always use a guidance counselor or an adult that knows about that stuff to help you, because it's horrible to go into this alone, guys. You need somebody who has experience, and you need somebody who can call people for you and teach you how to do this stuff, because you can easily make mistakes, and that's why there are some adults to help you. You cannot do this alone, I'm sorry. You're not a genius that was born with all this information about how to go to colleges. These people have probably helped like thousands of students get into college. So take advantage of that also. Also, during the college application system, I want you to be realistic, but never pessimistic. That rhymes. You should be realistic. Maybe if you have like a B average, you should not apply to Harvard. But if you have like really good test scores and you have really good average grades for anything, and you really want to apply to Harvard and you think you have the potential, do it. Don't let anybody say, oh my god, you will never get a scholarship, or oh my god, don't apply to that college, because you know what? You do you, and you are the captain of your own ship and your own destiny. And if you want to apply to that college, do your best, work your butt off, and apply to there. You don't want to be thinking that why they didn't apply to this college, why they didn't take the chance. But at the same time, don't apply to Harvard if you have a C- average, okay? Let's think about the type of student that the college wants. And if you're nearly not like that, don't apply there. But remember, you are worth something. And never forget that you're an awesome person and just apply to another colleges for students like you. I'm talking about test scores, and this is one that really affected me. You probably heard about the SAT, TOEFL, ACT, and yeah, they're really important. Fortunately, they're really important, especially in non-liberal arts schools, because in those non-liberal arts schools, the test scores count as 50% after your application. And it sucks to not get like a full ride or more scholarship or even an acceptance because you have 50 points less in the SAT. And it sucks because you know what? This is something that people don't tell you a lot. But tests like the ACT and the ACT and the TOEFL are bullshit. I said it. I'm sorry for the bad words, people, if you're watching this in school. But you have to know this. They are bullcrap. They are BS. They don't mean anything after you apply to college. Because you know what? The score that you got at the SAT does not prove that you're smart. It only proves how hard you study for the SAT. And I know that I know people who actually didn't study and got really great scores, and that may be like an indicator of intelligence, but it's always not the case. And test score doesn't prove anything. What proves things is just your experience. It's your experience and the things that you do and the person who you are. And also talking about test scores, don't be that douche who's always bragging about their test score. Nobody likes that person who's like, hey, I got a 2300 on my SAT. Bow down. If somebody asks you, of course, tell your scores. Don't be that one person bragging, because a lot of people don't get the test scores that they want even though they work really hard. That's just life. Also, while studying for your test, know your limits. You come first, okay? You come first, because if you're feeling horrible and you have anxiety and you're feeling like you want to kill yourself because of the stupid SAT, that is not worth your life. That is not worth it. That doesn't define you. Do your best, but at the same time, don't kill yourself for a test score. That's the point that I'm telling you. Regarding studying tips for the SAT and other tests, just do some practice tests, go slowly, take a class, but also don't buy like all the books, because you will end up like reading all of them. And like I said, college and the college application progress is just the business, and they want your money, so they will like sell you all the SAT classes, and maybe you will take them, but that doesn't define anything. Now regarding to the applying to colleges, and repeat my words, do not fall in love with a university. It's okay that you like a university, but don't think that you will not live if you don't go to that university. Not all things work out in life. Stuff happens, and you may not go to that university. And once you fall in love with it, it's absolutely heartbreaking to not go. Especially if you were accepted and you may not go anymore, or etc., or you were declined because they were douche canoes, because who would decline you, wonderful person watching this video? So find a college that fits you the best and fits your major the best. And by fitting you the best, I mean, think about it. Are you somebody who will like to be in a bigger school or a smaller school, or a liberal arts school or state school? Think about your preferences and your priorities and choose a college that goes like that. Also, regarding the major, some colleges are really good at specific majors and some colleges are really bad at specific majors. So do your research about the major and pick the college, and pick the college also based on the major, the quality of the education that you receive from that major. Also, Ivy Leagues are incredibly overrated. It's not the university that makes the student, it is the student that makes the university. You may be going to Harvard or Yale and you may not learn anything and you may be a shitty student, but you may go to this little school and maybe that school is great and you will do great at that school. It all depends and at the end, it all depends on the effort that you will make and how much you work and stuff. So don't worry if you're not going to number 5 ranked school in the whole Northwest. It's not a big deal. It's just a publicity stunt. It's just a way so they can get your money. Just think about it. This whole college education, as I said before, is just a business. Most of the advice I'm giving you is actually emotional stuff, because the actual doing stuff, you should go to a guidance counselor, because I'm not that good at that stuff. I'm sorry. It's normal to get sad, and it's normal to get stressed, and it's normal to feel hopeless. And if things don't work out your way regarding a college, it's okay. Just give yourself time to be sad, because you deserve to be sad. But at the end of the time, just pick yourself up and keep on swimming like Dory. No matter what happens, guys, even though you don't want to get accepted to college, will pass. Circumstances should never betray your plan to achieve happiness. That was my basic, mostly emotional overview of the college application process. Now I'm going to be talking about scholarships. Okay, scholarships. If you're like 95 of the population of the world, you're gonna need a scholarship, honey. Colleges are expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. I said before, business. It's a business. They want your money. So you have to beat the system. You gotta get a scholarship. You are so lucky if you don't need a scholarship, because I like half of the stress off. So hard to get scholarships these days, especially if you're international, which I will talk about later. Always look for scholarships if you need one. The university has lists of them, and to get them, you should really apply early, write a good essay, have good test scores, and prove yourself that you were really cool, especially if you're in the liberal arts. If you want to be accepted or just given a really good scholarship, do stuff related to your intended major, start doing stuff, build a small portfolio. At your institutions, if they give scholarships, such as your church or your study group, or you gotta be quick, it's like Black Friday, but with scholarships, basically. This is specifically for US residents, but there are tons of websites with scholarships, like Niche or Chegg. I'm going to be talking about being an international student and applying to college. So this advice is going to be directed towards studying in the US, but I would like to say that the US is not your only destination if you're an international student. If you're an international student, maybe it will be the easiest path towards a specific major, but there's always more things besides the US and better opportunities outside of it. It's really complicated to apply to the US, I gotta admit. You have to do TOEFL, you gotta get your I-20, and you have to be even better than the normal US applicants. It's horrible. The stress is horrible. And it's horrible if you're an international that needs a lot of scholarships like me, because most universities won't let you apply for a job, or some universities will let you work study, but it's not enough. And there are some scholarships at the university that are only limited to the US residents. So I will leave a list of colleges that give good aid for international students. Some universities are actually really wanting international students because they need the diversity and stuff. So check those out. If you have any questions about international application, comment down below. It is really hard. So that was my basic advice for applying to colleges during senior year. And as to conclude this, I just want to say, so don't let anybody stop you from achieving your dreams and going to where you want. Don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do something, because you know what? You are wonderful and you can do whatever you put your mind to. But unfortunately, life is not fair. So a lot of things will not work your way. If you have any questions that I haven't answered during this video, comment down below and I will answer them in a whole separate video featuring more questions about senior year. I hope that you like this video and you share it with all your friends. Always subscribe, because if you're watching this and you don't subscribe, they'll find you. Colleges will not accept you. So subscribe. Thanks for watching and happy senior year, guys. Bye!